Hi! Today we're going to be looking at supplies for oil painting an apple, Alla Prima. What is Alla Prima? Stick around! Supplies for oil painting. This is my handy dandy pair of pliers. I started to call it a wrench. I always call these wrenches, and my husband always corrects me and tells me they're pliers. Whatever they are, they help me open these. Now, you don't want to get too enthusiastic about this. You just want to loosen it. Just hold on to this neck here, tighten that, and just loosen it. And then you can open it. In my experience, just about everything will lock itself up, dry out, and be difficult to open. So I use my little handy dandy wrench. Just loosen them, and they'll stay loose for long enough to get done what you need to be done. The white rarely tightens up because it takes such a long time to dry. But other stuff, be very careful because these lids aren't the best quality plastic. Just loosen just a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's my little tube opener. This is a razor blade holder, and I use it to clean my glass palettes. This is a spot on my palette that had some dried medium that I've been slowly working on cleaning for quite the long time. Anyway, you got to be really careful with these. This one, I can't find my replacement razor blades. I've been using this thing for years. I need to go buy some new razor blades and maybe a new holder. I don't know. We'll see. I tend to keep stuff forever, way past its usable life. Although that one's not past its usable life. This is palette knives. This is you can use both of them for painting because they have an offset neck. There are some that are flat and don't have this offset neck, and they use those. They say those are for mixing paint. I like the ones with the offset neck for mixing paint, and I prefer this one for some reason. Nobody seems to use this one for mixing paint except me, that I know of. Anyway, I like that. Sometimes I'll use this, but I prefer this kind. For medium today, if I'm working on something that's going to take me a while, I have a special slow dry medium recipe that I got from Mark Carter of Draw Mix Paint. I really like that medium. But this is just going to be all in one whack, using just plain linseed oil if we use any medium at all, which we probably will. This is walnut oil in a little cleaner jar. This is what I use for cleaning my brushes and also for cleaning the palette. It's just non-toxic. Although I do use Gamsol sometimes, I keep it in this. And if I need it, I open it, use it, and then close the lid back. Here's my paint that I'm using today. Flake White Replacement, which is a substitute for lead white. It has the properties of lead white, but it doesn't have the lead. The properties of lead white are that you can add the white to the color to extend it without making it too light. And there are other properties too. I don't know them all. Titanium white you use when you really want to lighten up a color, but it tends to make it cloudy and powdery looking, which is okay sometimes. But anyway, I have both of them today. And for my paints, I don't want to use a whole lot of colors. I just want a limited palette because that's cheaper and you get experience mixing colors. So my colors for today are yellow ochre for the yellow. We're using primary colors. Terra Rosa for the red. And ultramarine green shade for the blue. I will be using burnt umber, or maybe, I don't know what I'm going to use. And then we're going to tone the canvas with acrylic raw umber. Make a light tone on the canvas, because if you paint directly on a white canvas, which you can do if you want to, it doesn't really, there's no rules, but I like a toned canvas. It just helps with the coverage of the canvas so there's no big white spots sticking through and you don't have to worry so much about covering perfectly the canvas. Plus sometimes it helps with the colors. Like if I tone it with this raw umber, it'll give it a little bit of an earthy tone to it. There's my glass palette, paper towels. I have a brush dip that I got from Mark Carter of Draw Mix Paint. He sells the brush dip. And whenever I'm done, whoops, that thing has been going for a while. These are my two favorite brushes here. They're still, the brush dip keeps the brush from drying out. This is an old filbert. It's all worn down, but I still use it occasionally. I don't practice what I preach with my brushes. I tend to go through brushes, and they're not cheap. I'm stupid. I need to take better care of my brushes. I can restore them with a little bit of Gamsol, but I hate to do that. Anyway, these are my brushes. I like this one and this one a lot. This is a Princeton Ashley Filbert size 4. And this is a Princeton Dakota Flat size 2. This is an old Robert Simmons Sable Bright 2. That's been worn down. And this is a Royal and Langnickel Zen size 0. It's going to need some, I may have to replace that. That kind of stinks, and that stinks too. This one's still good. That's a Princeton Imperial Flat 2. This guy, he's so worn out. I don't think he's going to work anymore. And this guy, I'm going to try to restore him because I really like him. Princeton Dakota Filbert size 8. I think these guys are dead meat. Okay, this is my covered palette. I have a glass palette inside. I used to have a piece of cardboard underneath to make it brown, but now I don't care. I just use it the way it is. I may put some gray under there at some point. It's good to have a toned palette to help you compare colors to the toned canvas that you're going to be using. I don't understand it all, but I like a toned palette. That's why I mix my colors on this over the wood. And then I just put the colors in here to store them and keep them from drying out. And put that over here at my right hand. And this is my mole stick, which I have hanging on the wall. I use this to put at the top of the canvas, and then I can have it hovering. It doesn't touch the painting, and then I can do details with my hand steady on this stick. And I will show you my setup of my subject. Okay, here's my setup. I've got it on my drawing table, which is at a slant. I have a light on it. I don't know exactly how I'm going to look at it while I'm sitting here or standing here, but there's some nice shadows, although the light appears to be a bit much. I turn the light off and there's nothing. Oh, it doesn't have to be perfect. The setup doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to give me an idea of lights and shadows. I like the apple better there. That box is taped to the drawing board to keep the light from outside diminishing the shadows on the apple and the napkin or towel. Anyway, there's my setup. I will be standing while I'm painting. There's my palette, which I will be using. And then there's my setup. From here, I like it even better. Yeah, I really like that. Now we can see my whole setup. There's my mixing area, paints and stuff. There's my mall stick, paper towel, easel, palette, and my setup here. Thanks for watching. If you would like to order the same supplies that I use, you can use the affiliate links in the description below. But you don't have to use what I use to make a painting sort of like my painting, and you don't have to make a painting sort of like my painting. You can make whatever you want. But if you would like to follow along, there are affiliate links in the description below for you to order, well, not exactly what, because I couldn't find everything in Amazon for what I ordered. You can also go to your local art supply store if you have one. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you do follow along. Please comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this.